Turning now to your community focus, big news about the Superman building this week. Plus, could the car tax phase out happen more quickly than anticipated? Here to talk about those topics and more, Senate President Dominick Ruggerio. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me today, Kim.
So I want to start with the big news about the Superman building. Earlier this week, we learned about a $220 million plan to revitalize it. Some people, though, are of course raising concerns about the amount of money the state and city are going to spend. My colleague Ted Nesi says the awards for the Superman building would use up most of the proposed state budget's uncommitted Rebuild RI tax credits. I've heard some people liken this to 38 studios. Why are they wrong?
Well, first of all, you know this has been a long and torturous situation. It's been almost 10 years that we've been looking to do something with that building. I've always felt that that would be a terrible thing for us to demolish that building. Obviously, the city would look like it was gap-toothed. I think it's an iconic historic structure. It's on the Federal Register. It's a building worth saving. The developer has made a substantial investment in that building. He's used some of the money that we've appropriated to the programs that we have, the housing programs and the workforce development programs and things of that nature for some of the funding. I think it's absolutely going to be great. There's going to be 20% of the residents there are going to be for affordable housing. And I think it's something, and I want to congratulate everyone for the work that they did on it, because as I said, it's been a long time coming.
I want to ask you about the 20% affordable housing. Ted and my colleague Steph Machado looked at the affordability of some of the units and found, for example, that monthly rent for one of the income-restricted apartments, one of the affordable apartments, would be about $1,200 a month for someone making around $48,000 a year. Is that truly affordable, in your opinion?
I think it's as close to affordable as we can get on that particular building. I'm enthused to see what they're going to do. They might lower that price as far as the rentals of that building. So I don't know at this particular time if that amount is going to hold.
So again, just in terms of how much money the state and city are investing, you disagree with people who say, let's spread the wealth, let's give it to more projects rather than just sink it into one singular building.
Well, I think it's one singular building, but it's a building that, as I said before, I think we should really keep there. I mean, everyone knows about the Superman building. You know, people call it that, which it's not really the Superman building. It's the Industrial National building that was built a long time ago. But I think it's an iconic structure in the state. I think the investment is well worth it, and I think good things are going to happen once that is completed. And it's going to provide jobs, and it's going to provide housing for people, and it's certainly going to provide some office space, and I think it's going to be used by the public, and I'm looking forward to that work being done.
Another hot topic this week, you told the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce that you want to eliminate the car tax this year. That's earlier than expected. How would this work?
Well, first of all, I think because of the money that we have coming in from the federal government, we can use that money not for that particular purpose, but for the tax relief as far as the car tax. I think if you have a vehicle that's over $6,000, you're going to be paying car tax next year also. I think if we eliminate that, we can provide the residents of Rhode Island with tax relief going forward. So I'm hoping that I can sit down with the Speaker, we can work something out. I know initially he was supportive of this. I haven't spoken to him on this particular issue lately, but I intend to do so in the near future.
I want to talk with you about politics before I let you go. You also told that Chamber of Commerce crowd that the Rhode Island Political Cooperative is hostile to business and has radical ideas. Their Lieutenant Governor candidate Cynthia Mendes was here with me on 12 News at 4 earlier this week, and she said in response that your allegiance has consistently been with large corporations and how he can benefit them, talking about you. What's your response to her response?
My allegiance has been, since I've been in the legislature, has been to create jobs, to put people to work, and that's what the business community does. For this group, first of all, they're a tax and spend group. They don't care where they get the money as long as they can give it away to somebody. Defund the police, I've never heard anything more ludicrous than that in my whole life. I mean, it's just the agenda that they're promoting is not consistent, as far as I'm concerned, with what Rhode Islanders want.
And just 15 seconds left. This is the 4th year, I believe, that you've championed legislation to ban plastic bags. It passed the Senate. It's never passed the House. Do you think it's going to pass this year?
I'm hopeful that it will pass this year. This is an initiative that we've been working on for a while. I worked with Governor Raimondo on this particular issue, and I think it's time for that to happen. So I'm looking forward to passage of that legislation this year, and I think it'll make a big difference.
Senate President Dominick Ruggerio, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Kim. Great seeing you.